Hello everyone, Julian DeVoe here, and we have some movements today specifically designed for the hips. These are going to help us stretch, open, relax, let go of any tension. So we're going to start standing. Before we start any movement, bring your hands to your belly and start breathing in and out through your nose. You're welcome to gently close your eyes here as well. In and out through your nose, deeply into your belly. This allows us to focus, allows us to center, to bring our attention and our awareness to our body and to the present moment. And try and maintain this form of breathing throughout the duration of our practice. And you can release your hands and open your eyes. We're going to start in with some gentle shaking. It's a great way to start any practice, great way to wake up in the morning, come back after work, let go of any stress. It's a wonderful way to prepare for any presentations or interviews or any athletic sporting activities or anything like that. So it's a wonderful practice. Many Qigong practitioners and athletes and business leaders, they all work with something like this just to help get the energy moving. So we're going to start here like this. Drop your head to one side and to the other. Some head rolls, one direction, head rolls in the other. You can do this fast and do it slow, it's up to you. The shoulders move in just a little bit. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale, release. And last one, inhale up. And release. Beautiful. So a little warm up there. And now we're gonna start in with some gentle hip circles. Hip circles. One direction, like you're slow motion hula hooping. You can make the circles big, you can make them small. And now let's go the opposite direction. And if you have the hula hooping championships coming up, then this one's for you. One direction and now go one and then go the other. Go one and then the other. Okay, now we're going to work figure eights. Figure eight, so you make figure eight shape here like this. This will actually help with our walking gait. These gentle movements, just a nice way to slowly begin to lubricate our hips. And then now reverse the direction of the figure eight. And notice when you change that direction, if it's a bit more challenging or if it's easier. Building new neural networks when we do things differently and when we challenge ourselves. This can become difficult. You might notice areas of tension in your body that weren't there in the first side. Beautiful figure eights. This is like our surfing. Okay, and we're gonna go one leg at a time. You start turning in, gentle internal rotation, and a gentle external rotation. So in and out. Focus of the action is really turning in here, an internal rotation. You might not be able to go out as far. That's okay. It's really the internal that we're looking for here. But might as well throw in a little external rotation while you're at it. Here we go. In and out. Simple, easy, gentle opening. Here we go. Okay, opposite side. Internal, external. Just actions coming from the hip. It's just a nice gentle stretch. Don't force it. There's no need to overextend, over internal or over external. Just however your body wants to move. That's comfortable, that's accessible. It starts to awaken a sense of aliveness in this area of your body. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to that first side. Lift the leg up and we're gonna go in a reverse direction. Reverse. Like you're stepping over a boulder. And then now we go forward. And if you need to, you can put your foot down in the middle of these. We're just doing a few. This can turn into a whole exercise. You can do these for time if you like. And now let's go over, forward, and back. Okay, opposite side. Start by going back. Just notice the difference between the left side and the right side. What side's easier, what side's stronger. Maybe there's one side's more open. And then we go forward. And again, if you need to put the foot down in between, totally cool. If you want to challenge yourself, you can hover. And now let's go forward and back. Forward and back. And come back to standing. Now back to that first leg. We're going to shake all that out. So shake forward. This will also help with the walking gait. This helps with the hamstring. Opening up the legs here before we get to our ground portion of this. So flick forward. Go forward. And now we go back. So we flick back. Turn this way so you can see. And you can balance if you like. That's up to you. You can balance this whole time. I like to mix it up. And then forward and back. Forward and back. So you can balance or you can stop in between. Okay, a few more. And back to neutral. Okay, opposite side. Gentle flicking of the ankle. This also helps with the whole leg. Ankle, toes, just gets all the energy moving. So we're gonna flick forward. And now let's go back. Again, just behind here. Forward and back. Again, you can stop in between, fair game, or you can balance. If this is really easy, you can close your eyes. It'll make it a bit more challenging. Okay, come back to standing. Notice the sensations in the lower legs, upper legs, everything below the waist. And the last part of our standing sequence will just be to shake all of that out. Connect back to the breath. Gentle shaking, drop your head to one side, head to the other, and roll. Shoulders up and down, shake it out a little bit. Okay, so from here, we're gonna move to the ground. So find a nice, smooth, easy way to get to the ground. And for the first part of this, we're gonna be in this kneeling position. So if you have anything to pad your knees that might make this a bit more comfortable, carpet, a blanket, a sticky mat, those could all be very useful. So from this position, lean into one leg. So on this side, lean into your left side and lift the right, just gently. And try and balance here. Try and keep your legs as close together as possible. You might wobble. The wobbling is good. And lower down. And now let's go to the right side. And if this is too challenging, you can keep your back foot on the ground. You're welcome to come up and come down. Come up and down with that back leg if you want. Otherwise, try and balance here. Keep your legs close to each other. The wobbling is good. It's part of the strengthening of the body. And let's go down. One more time each side. So go back to that first leg, lean and lift. And again, try and breathe in and out through your nose, deeply into your belly. Use your arms if you need to. And lower down. Last time on this side. Here. And notice the difference between the left side and the right side. Which side is easier to balance? Which side's easier to lift? And lower down. Now, we're gonna go back to that left side, that first side, lean in, lift the right leg, and slowly come forward, nice and slow. And then we're gonna go back, nice and slow, back. And now, lean into the right, lift the left, nice and slow, forward. How slow can you go? And now we go back. One more time each side. Lean, lift, forward. And go nice and slow back. And here we go. Opposite side. Come forward. And we go back. Now we're gonna speed that action up. So full speed. So this nice lunge here really helps open up that back leg, helps open up the back hip flexor. So this is a nice, really just nice action. And then what happens when you reach with your arm as well? Can you get a little bit further? But again, there's no forcing these actions. Move at the speed and the pace that feels good to you. And then try and take it off trajectory just a little bit. That's gonna open up the stretch in a different way. Just notice how that goes. Maybe you'll reach an arm up and across. Maybe you'll reach down to see if you can come down to do something. Go fast, go slow. You can be here for a minute if you need to. Just nice ways to get the legs moving, get the hips moving. Okay, beautiful. Okay, one more time each side. Here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, come down. And let's come into this shape here. Take your feet, wider than your hips. This will make it a little bit easier. Pull your hands into your knees. Gently tuck your chin. Breathe deeply into your belly. Just be here for a moment. And take both hands behind. And we'll go side to side. It's called windshield wipers. So just go side to side. This is really beautiful to lubricate the hip joints. Really, really nice. If you want to, you can move one knee forward. You come a little bit forward with that. Come a little bit closer. It's up to you. You might not be able to go all the way. If you just go like this, just this is okay. Find whatever it feels good in your body. Windshield wipers. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go side to side. We have some variations into this, and we're gonna land with our knees to the right. So the left leg here is kind of the closest coming out. And this is called different things in different traditions. I learned it as pinwheel. It's also known as shin box or side bend sits or 90-90, different things. So in this position, we have our knee out in front and we'll begin to tap that left knee, just gently tap. So these are beautiful, gentle, therapeutic movements that really help to unwind any locked or stuck energy, any stiffness. So we just tap gently forward and back, gently forward and back. And if you need to, you might need to put a cushion under your buttocks. That's totally fine. You might not be able to go very far. Your knee might not be able to tap the ground. You might just be like this, just going nice and slow. You might have your leg back a little bit. That's also okay. Find a comfortable way of being in this shape, and we're gently going to tap. There's no wrong way of doing these movements. It's really about feeling and not about what it looks like. So we're here, gentle tapping. Now let's open that up. Let's go side to side. Windshield wipers. And here we go, opposite side. So now the knees are to the left and we're tapping the right knee. Gentle tapping. And find your position. Might need to scooch up or back. Again, this leg might be in varying shapes or forms. It could be closer this way. Might not be tapping all the way down. It's really going to be individual per person. Gentle tapping. Forward and back. Forward and back. Okay. Now we're going to come back into this windshield wiper position. And if you're feeling good here and you have good hip mobility and you've done these before, you're welcome to bring in the look mom, no hands. If these are new for you, I suggest keeping your hands down at first and then maybe try what happens if I do one arm off, what happens if I do with the other. So you really want to know your body in this situation. But if you're feeling good, you can go into the no hands variety. So now let's go back to that first side, if you will. Place your left hand to your left hip, roll your hip up and look over your back shoulder, and then allow for your hip to release and sink into gravity. So what we're doing here is several things. We're rolling the hip up. This is on, active, engaged, and then we're allowing the hip to release and sink back into gravity. This is off, disengaged, sympathetic, parasympathetic, on, off, active, rest. We're also differentiating the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Very, very useful if we have any tension, if one leg carries more gripping or more tension than the other. For many of us, that might happen, for example, driving a car. That right hip might be on more than the left. A couple more, looking over that back shoulder. Okay, now, similar action, slightly different. Roll that hip up and then look over the same hip shoulder. So left hip rolling up, you look over the left shoulder, and then release and you look over your back shoulder. So I call this our Vogue position. And then we look back, and this is a bit more coy. This is our Vogue position. Let me look over the back. You could even throw in the cover of Vogue eyes if you want on there. And then we look back. So this is a cross pattern or contralateral action. This helps to sync the hemispheres of the brain, and this will help set us up for more intensive or more coordinated activities. So we're here like this. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, that's good there. Now hands back, here we go. Side to side, windshield wipers. Notice the difference between the left side and the right side. Hands can come up. Look, mom, no hands. Okay, opposite side. Knees to the left, right hand to right hip. Roll your hip up, look over your back shoulder, and release. On, off. Go nice and slow. There's no forcing with these movements. Just let your body do what it knows and do what it needs to do. There's nowhere to get in these movements. We receive wellness and healing and openness, flexibility. Beautiful. Okay, now roll your hip up and look over that front shoulder, your right shoulder. You're on the cover of Vogue. How cool is that? And then roll your hip back and look over the back shoulder. Yeah. Or whatever your favorite periodical might be. You could be on the cover of that in this position. How cool would that be? This cross pattern, this contralateral action. Beautiful for the brain, for memory, cognition, mobility, coordination, balance, stability. Okay, couple more. You get the idea. Okay, let's go back to pinwheel. Couple more things to do in this form. Okay, first side. Left arm out in front, trace the ground. Left arm out in front, trace the ground. And now the hand comes off. Pat yourself on the back. Taking some time for some self-care, trying something new perhaps, doing something good for your body, good for your mind, good for your heart. Pat yourself on the back. Beautiful. Okay, now the next part of this, you'll push into the backhand and reach arm up. So push into the backhand and reach left arm up. Push and reach. And if you feel good with this, don't need to use that backhand. You can just reach up without using the backhand. Either way. Some days I feel good, don't need to use the backhand. Other days, I need to. Now this last time, reach, 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 reach. Squeeze, engage your buttocks, squeeze, reach, and lower back down. Okay, one more side, and the sequence is complete. Here we go. To the left, right arm out in front, trace, trace the ground. And pat yourself on the back. These movements come out of many different traditions. We see them across different movement modalities. And pat yourself on the back. Many different ways of doing it. Explore, get creative. Now push into that backhand and reach. And push into the backhand and reach. We're going from seated to kneeling. Seated to kneeling. And again, you might not need to use that back hand, that's okay. And last one, push, reach, reach, and slowly lower back down. Okay, a couple more of these just to shake them out. Beautiful, beautiful hip openers. These are the movements inside the movements. This will prepare us for perhaps bigger movements, more athletic things, deeper yoga positions, these sorts of things, or just general living. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go to our back. So, what we will do, feet flat, palms up, push down into your feet and lift your buttocks off the ground. We're coming to this bridge pose. This bridge helps to release the low back. It also helps to strengthen the glutes, which are the hip extenders. So when we strengthen here, we can open more with our hip flexors. This is actually gonna help with our hips as well. Now, when you're doing your own practice, when you're in your own flow, I recommend doing this position a couple times a day. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it might be, and then lower back down. Okay. Now, we're gonna go into what's called the pelvic compass. So the pelvic compass, we will rock the pelvis in different ways, north, south, east, west. So, start by rocking the pelvis what would be north and south, or up and down. And it doesn't matter which way is north or which way is south, just go one direction and then the other. So toward the tail and toward the head. Up and down, north and south. So we're moving on the pelvis. This is really gonna help lubricate to open us up for some other movements. Very subtle, very gentle. Great for any range of mobility. If you have real stiffness or stuckness in the hips, or you have trouble moving in this area, this is a great exercise for that. If you're looking for more coordination or deeper understanding or layers of embodiment, it's a great exercise. So we're going north to south. Okay, now east to west or left to right. And again, however you assign east, west, north, south, doesn't really matter. Left to right, east to west. And now we're going to go circles. So we'll go north, west, south, east. North, west, south, east. Go in one direction. North, west, south, east, whatever that means. However it makes sense in your mind. Maybe you see it as a clock. Or a bowl. Just go one direction. And then now reverse. This helps to open up the lower back, release any tension in the pelvis. It's gonna really help with our hips. And mix it up now. Go figure eight, side to side. Spell your name. Just kind of bring in some movement in there. Maybe go diagonal. It's up to you. Okay. Come to stillness. Push down into your feet. Lift off the floor. Bridge pose. And go side to side, side to side. Side to side. And lower back down. Okay, fantastic, here we are. Now, we're gonna differentiate side to side again, and we'll start by anchoring your left foot. So your left leg, your left foot, your left knee is gonna stay in this position, while your right will flop open and come back. So right flops open and comes back. That left stays anchored. So it's not going with the leg, it's just this independent side. So just the right side is flopping. Flop open. And do a couple more. And now the right side anchors, or the opposite side, doesn't matter which you started with, just do the opposite side and flop. And this might be more controlled. If you have more hesitation on one side, totally cool. You can go nice and slow with this. You might be able to control it all the way down if that makes you feel more comfortable. Otherwise, you try and release into gravity. You try and you're on and then off. But if you need to control it at first, that's totally fine. And a couple more. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the first side. So the lead leg, the right leg in this case, will lead, and then the left will follow. So it's a lead and a follow. So we're not moving them both at the same time. We're allowing them to move the right and then the left. So the lead leg goes and then it follows. And just allow for your body to move itself. It's kind of like, you lead and I'll follow. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Let's do one more. And then we'll go to the opposite side. It's like, okay, now you lead and I'll follow. It's like, okay. So we see how we can move independently. Our limbs and our body parts can move independently, and then they can move more harmoniously together. We're also differentiating left side, right side, sending signals to the brain like, oh, this side does this and this side does this. Oh, this one feels like this and this one feels like that. We're just increasing the intelligence in our organism. Okay, here we go. Last one. And then now we're gonna go side to side. Side to side. Okay. Here we go. And back to stillness, back to neutral. We'll do a reset by pushing down into your feet and lifting up into bridge. And I like to do a little bit of shaking here, a little bit of up and down. Feel free to let some sound out if you need to. And slowly lower down. Gently tap your pelvis on the floor. And come to stillness. Straighten both your legs by flopping out and straightening. Now, next set of movements. Bring your awareness to your right leg. Internal and external rotation. Remember when we did this standing? Internal, external rotation. So the whole leg moves. The action originates from your hip. Internal, external. Now the next time, the external rotation, track that right leg up so then you land in this fallen tree position. And then straighten. Internal, external, track the foot up, fallen tree, and straighten. Internal, external. You got it at your own pace, your own speed. You might want to land and be in this shape for a little bit, this fallen tree shape, or you might want to speed it up. Only go halfway. Maybe this is all the movement that you have today. Totally fine. Okay, next time. Leg comes up, foot flat. Then flop open, remember the way we just did, and then straighten. Internal, external, up, flat, flop. So we're going up and down. And one more time, and land in with your foot flat and your knee toward the ceiling. So now, the last part of this sequence is you'll push down into the floor with your foot to lift your right side off the ground. You'll roll just a little bit onto the left. And now the key to this is to make sure that your knee tracks out over your foot. So we're not taking your knee across our body, we're tracking out and open. Then what we do is we release. So push down and release. Push down and release. This is called hip thumping. So release any residual tension, any gripping. This helps us to find our relationship to space and to gravity. Push and release. And last one, push, hold up, and release, thump, flop open, and straighten. Pause there. Notice the difference between the left side and the right side. So now bring your awareness to your opposite leg, left leg, and begin the same action, internal and external rotation. Internal, external. Action originates from your hip. So we're not just moving our foot here, we're moving our whole leg. And now the next time, the external rotation, track your leg up to come to this fallen tree and slide down. And up. Down. Back up and down. Okay, next time you come up, foot flat, flop open, and straighten. Here we go. Flop out, straighten, internal, external, track, flop, Same action as the other side. Okay, next time your leg's up, park it there, press down through the foot, roll onto your right side, left buttock comes off the ground, and then release. Hip thumping. Push down and release. Remember this knee, you want to intend for the knee to go out over the foot, not over across the body. Here, like this. And thump, hip thumping. And here we go, last one, push in, push, push, push. And thump, flop open, straighten the leg. We'll be here for just a moment. Okay, the last little bit of this sequence, we're gonna bring those two together. We're gonna alternate one side, then the other. So, start with one leg, doesn't matter which. Internal rotation, external rotation, track the leg up, foot flat, push down, lift the buttocks off, hip thump, flop open, straighten. Now we go opposite side, internal, external, track up, foot flat, push down, hip up, thump, flop, straighten. Here we go. Internal, external on the opposite side, foot flat, push and thump, flop out, straighten. Same thing, internal, external on the opposite side. Track the foot up, it goes flat, push, flop open. So now your own pace, your own speed, just on each side. Go side to side. Side to side. Okay, 2 more on each side. And when you're done, come to lying on your back, palms up. Just notice the sensations in your body. Notice any buzzing or tingling, any pulsing. How do you feel? Now take both feet flat. Roll onto one side of your body. Take one breath. Push yourself up to a seated position. Come back into your breath one more time. Bring your hands to prayer position and bow your head to your heart. Lift your head, release your hands, open your eyes. Thank you for moving with me today. I look forward to seeing you again next time.